I would like to welcome humbly to our show El Capitan, Mr. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Welcome to the show, legend.
Thank you very much, Jalen. How you doing, Jacoby?
Thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate you joining the program. And you recently tweeted that you were into your thoughts and reevaluating what it means to be Black in America. What exactly did you mean by that?
Well, you know, you have to just think back about how life in America has affected you as a Black person. And for me, it's had its ups and it's had its downs. But it all started for me back in 1955. I was 8 years old when Emmett Till was murdered, and I didn't understand that. And from that point on, I tried to figure out what I could do about it. So I think my life has reflected that.
It definitely has. And I felt like it was really profound when you said that you were caught between hope and history. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, Jalen, it's like you have a hope that America will live up to its promise, live up to the words in the Declaration of Independence that all men are created equal and endowed with certain rights that are inalienable. But too often in America, Black Americans and other people of color have not been treated equally, and it gets to the point where police officers can murder Black people and harass them and treat them poorly. And we've got to stop that. It's been going on for too long.
In 2016, you were awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom for your work against social injustice and for equality. How important do you think it is that today's athletes get involved with this cause the same way?
I think it's crucial that today's athletes take up the challenge and do what they have to do now in today's circumstances. Just like Black athletes before related to the circumstances that they were dealing with and tried to do the right thing. I mentioned Bill Russell, Jackie Robinson, Jesse Owens at the 1936 Olympics just made a statement for what we were all about. And it's Black athletes who are able to get people straight. Colin Kaepernick's protests about the exact event that ended up with the death of George Floyd. Colin really suffered for what he did, but now people see that he was talking about something that was absolutely valid, and we're taking it from there, and people are now appreciating his sacrifice. I think those things really make it clear that Black athletes have something to say and something to contribute to the advance of freedom, justice, and equality for all Americans.
And it almost seems like karma in a lot of ways for Black people, that the knee that killed George Floyd almost mirrored and was symbolic of the picture of Colin Kaepernick actually taking a knee during a peaceful protest before a football game. As somebody that's been a social warrior your entire life, and this was a young man over my shoulder, a part of the movement, how do you feel now seeing so many different people, colors, and backgrounds actually protesting and marching alongside? Does that look much different than it did back in the 60s?
Yeah, it does, Jalen, because in the 60s, people didn't understand as completely how Black people are defined by stereotypes that have nothing to do with who they really are. All of the stereotypes that were supposed to be typical of the Black experience really had no validity. I'm thinking about what Reverend Sharpton said yesterday, that we could learn just like any other students could learn, but we couldn't deal with the underfunded schools because white America had their knee on our neck. And we could have done jobs and done corporate finance, all the difficult and intricate things that Americans do, Black Americans could do, but we were denied the opportunity because America had its knee on our name. That was just so many powerful statements that Reverend Sharpton made, and it was so accurate. And people get it now, and I'm hoping we've come to a point where we've got the political will to do something about this.
Well, there's so much going on in our society that is bigger than basketball, but I do have a basketball question for you. According to Caesars, two teams that you played for are the two teams that are favored to match up in the NBA Finals, the Lakers and the Bucks. Which team would you pick in a 7-game series?
Geez, I wouldn't pick any of them. I think I'm going to have to go and stay in a hotel until that series is over.
Those are his squads, Jacoby. He should have statues in front of both of those buildings.
Absolutely.
So
How
well,
about
I'm just
this?
going to wait and keep my mouth shut because I can't make enemies. You know, I live in one town. I go visit Milwaukee a lot and still have lots of fans and good relationships up there. So I'm going to just keep my mouth shut and hope everybody enjoys it if that does come to pass and the Lakers and Bucks are involved in the finals.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.